I've seen his phone almost dying in one of these episodes. But in this last episode, his phone was fully charged and ready to fucking go. How is he charging his phone? I want to know.
I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, that thing should be dead by now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it as like this motherfucker's got a full fucking battery. How the
Unless,
fuck's he
unless
got a
it's
full battery?
if it's a Nokia phone, then that thing might last forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Herbal Synergies, the shop. I'm your host, Sinji. Of course, my co-host, Bay. What's up?
Yo, same old, same old. Try to make it through the day.
Yo, Saturday's usually a good day for me. I got
Yeah.
some food shopping done.
Mm-hmm.
You been doing anything new?
Nah, just same old stuff, just different day.
Okay, cool. All right,
Living life each and every way.
all right. You got a flavor this week? I got a flavor. You got a flavor?
Uh, let's see here. My flavor. I'm gonna go this week with my boy Lug. He chopped off a woman's hand and then left her to bleed out and then walked away and threw a knife in her head. Boy's vicious.
Oh, you're watching fucking World's Finest Assassin.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, I was really excited for this anime because I got the manga before I knew it was gonna be an anime,
mm-hmm.
and so I read. I think I even mentioned it in an earlier episode that I read the first three volumes and I really enjoyed it. And now that I'm watching it as the weeks progress, I'm gonna watch the new episode tomorrow. Um, I'm really excited to finish the collection for the manga, even though like the manga's already out ahead of the anime, but like the physical copies come out before after the anime is already released for reasons I don't particularly know. But anyways, I'm glad you're getting into World's Finest Assassin.
Yeah. I also almost had another one, but I don't know if that one would be too appropriate to say. It was just hilarious.
I mean, you could just right
Nah.
off the
I'm,
real quick. As like a creator of something, as people are like artists with music, artists with paintings, like people draw inspirations from things they've experienced in life or people they witness in life, and um the assassin, world's finest assassin, is definitely gonna is definitely an inspiration for like one of the inspirations for what season two is gonna be like of my own little project.
yeah. You know, it's been a long week. I was waiting for a certain chapter. It ain't even come out yet. I guess
Well,
the
I didn't.
writer's on a hiatus. Doesn't care about his fans or nothing.
Well, like I don't want to send unfinished
But
chapters
hey.
because like I don't want to leave you in like in the middle of something. And like I
Mm-hmm.
was like really productive last week and ended up starting chapter six, but I didn't get far into it. So I was like, I'm just gonna finish it and then send it.
Yeah, the creator I'm talking about doesn't even care about his fans. So that's all right, I suppose.
Hopefully that changes with time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Maybe, maybe not.
did you want to mention your other flavor?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Almost like you shouldn't have brought it up at all.
Yeah, I like doing that. Little tease.
um, my flavor, fucking, it's the black cat. It's the black cat. I don't know why I got a black cat, but I got a black cat, and it's a fucking pain in the ass. Hey, could you like? I don't even know what the fuck he's looking at.
So your
My
flavor is
flavor
a
this
black
week.
cat. Interesting.
No, my flavor's not a fucking black cat.
And well, you said my flavor, and then you said black cat. Wow,
Listen. My flavor this week is coming straight out of, I believe the
Compton.
right name is Bungo Stray Dogs. and that is the new show I've been watching for the last week or so. Because me and one of my friends decided that like we're gonna try to watch anime at the same time, and we have a rule because she's already shown that she can't wait and like stay up to pace with me and wait for me to like have free time to watch. So it's like new rule: you cannot start a new season until I finish the one we were on. So I'm on season
Seems like
two.
you're both impatient, huh?
Well, I don't know what
No
you're.
self restraint. Hmm.
One time, Irving. One time.
More than one time.
Maybe twice.
Three. But
Name
who's
all three.
counting?
Name all three.
Who's counting?
Name all three.
Let's see. One was the
Shield
time you
Hero.
did. Yep, Shield Hero. Let's see here. There's another time
I
you
don't
did
even know the
some.
second and or third one. I just gave you two.
Yeah.
And then you
So
said
there we
three.
go.
No, no. What is the second and third one now that we're on the topic?
I forgot, but hey,
Okay. All
keep
right.
it moving.
Bet. Bet. So, flavor of the week, Bungo Stray Dogs. It is a final words to I guess he's not the main character, but I really wish he was because I love Dazai. Um
Hmm.
his friend's last words to Dazai were you should save people. And he's like, why? And he's like, you're not gonna find meaning in life no matter what you do, whether you're good or bad. So you might as well be save as many people as you can if it's all gonna amount to the same. And then, it was last word, so he died.
Wow.
I hate you sometimes.
Why?
That wow was so like felt so condescending.
My man just don't want me to be myself.
This man said, "Wow."
That's his last words. Mm.
But yeah, do you want to start with life lessons with Uramichi or something else?
Whatever you want to start with, dog.
We should really discuss this
I,
beforehand
I,
because
I
I
guess I
never
should say
know.
whatever you managed to watch this week. But hey,
I watched 3 episodes of Uramichi. I watched 3 episodes of ReZero. I read the 4 chapters of Chojin X that you told me to read, and the only extra thing you should have is Tower of God.
let's see. So what are we on? Episode 5. Once the concert is over. Yep. Okay, so this one hilarious off the rip. Hangover and sleep deprivation, are a knockout combo. No one's gonna stop the match for you.
I wrote
He
that
tells
down.
that
I
to
liked it.
yeah. The little kid's like, "You seem so tired," and and then he came up with
Remember,
that quote. And
always
I
remember,
was like,
kid. Hold
"Damn,
on. I'm gonna give my best Uramichi voice. Always remember, kids. Hangovers and sleep deprivation are a knockout combo, and no one's gonna stop the match for you.
yeah." Man, it was wilding early. I was like,
The
Shh.
director was wild in that fucking episode, bro. I think it seemed like a grown
Yeah,
ass kid.
he was. Yeah, he wanted. He's like, "Oh, I want you to do some flips," and then he's like, "No, maybe not." And he's like, "You know what? Maybe you need to do more than one flip." And he's like, "No," and then he does a whole bunch of flips, and the director walks away.
He
Doesn't
took a
even see
phone
it.
call,
Shoot.
and then he comes back. I don't remember what we were doing, but I'm sure you did great.
Yeah. So yeah. So he comes back, and another thing I had here was when Uramichi was doing a side plank, and the kids ask him why he was doing that, and he says he does what he's told, and so the people give him the command won't let him starve. Pretty much liken himself to a dog. So
I do as I'm told, so the people won't let me leave me to starve out by the road.
yeah.
Now, you know what's really funny about this episode? I sent you a reel of a scene in this episode before I even saw it. Like right before I saw it, it's like I sent you the reel, like an hour before, and I'm just like, oh, I just saw this.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Whole whole bunch of clips out of here. Um, and what got me too is when he asked the kids, "What do you have when you're a kid but lose when you get to be an adult?"
And they all said really positive things, and he's like, all correct answers. What else do you have? And they were like, freedom, sense of
Yeah,
joy, a future. And I'm just like,
uh,
I'm
he's going to his
laughing.
head.
I'm
Yeah,
laughing, but I'm just like, I'm kind of worried about the creator of this show's mental health.
yeah. The kid was like a future. I was like, damn. Not the kid saying you have a future when you're a kid.
Hey, life lessons with Uramichi. He's getting through to them, better for better or worse.
Yeah. Mm.
Now
And then this,
the songs in the play were very questionable. I just want to put that out there.
yeah, someone was like, "What is the cat looking at?" And I was like, "Huh?" Yeah, it was a concert. And then what got me, I was like, "Why did the choreographer grab the bunny like that? There's really no need."
Are you talking about
Yeah,
when he punched him in the groin?
I thought he grabbed him.
I thought he punched him.
I thought he grabbed him. He's like, "I worked with bigger or something." And I was like, "Ooh, okay, all right, guy."
But it's a she.
Whoever it was, I was like, "Huh, yeah." Yeah, the concert goes well. Irmichi goes home early, doesn't party, and then when he saves the crab, and then the same crab he saved, they end up eating him at the thing. So that was a roundabout thing. Even though you did a good deed to save a crab, it still got ate. So yeah. And then
Um,
they all proceed
but
to drink a whole lot.
I think those moments happen simultaneously, so I don't think it was the same crab. But like that crab might get eaten later on.
Well, he did it. I think he did it earlier because it was. I think at that point it was snowing or something. But when it went out, it wasn't snowing. I'm not sure, but they pretty much showed like because that crab had a distinct small claw and a big claw, and it kind of looked the same as the one they was eating.
Hmm.
And they were fresh crabs, so they could have went and just caught that crab. I don't know. At this point, I don't really think it matters because the whole show is just messed up stuff.
It's just the whole show is just dark humor.
Yeah. And so next episode is not really too much of anything.
I don't
Um,
have much on the next two episodes,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, the kid, they spot him at the store.
That I got. It's like,
Yeah.
and it was like, yeah, they. We thought we saw someone real familiar buying milk, but mom said that's not milk, it's alcohol in a milk carton. And it looked a lot like Uramichi Onisan, but there was no way.
Yeah. I was like, ugh. I was like, it was him. And then so my boy Urmichi was excited because he's supposed to get 2 days off. But then they
Oh,
planned an outing.
oh.
And then they play samurai games and ping pong. Nothing too much. She talks about her boyfriend being useless without her and he needs her for everything and pretty sad. So, yeah, nothing too much there. Just went on about the way. I feel like if this was a filler episode, this would have been it.
I feel
So,
like, okay, alright. I feel like this show should not have any episodes that feel like filler. Because this show doesn't have any episodes that are like,
pertinent to a
yeah,
storyline.
yeah. It's just like, hey, it's almost like a Family Guy thing. Like, this is today's episode. This is today's episode. This is today's episode. So like, having something feel like filler in a show that doesn't have a continuing storyline, I don't know. You did something wrong there.
Yeah. So, so that happened. Uh, let's see here. Life lessons. It was like I can do it by myself. Did you notice how the two people in the beginning kind of sounded similar to Trunks and Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, those sound like Trunks and Vegeta.
I actually noticed it because I wasn't looking at the screen at the time I heard it. And I was like, wait,
Yeah.
the fuck just happened?
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Little Dragon Ball Z. And so my quote I got here was the kids. Yeah, because they were making those little paper circle chains,
Mm-hmm.
and we used to do that in school. And the kid was like, "Oh, we're making chains like the ones that will bind us when we reach adulthood." I was like, "Damn." so so that was funny. The little I don't think the kids like know what they're actually saying. It's like how most adults feel on a day to day basis. so
That's what makes it so great.
yeah, they're just like, "Oh man, yeah, oh, this is what
Chain.
I'm supposed to say, or this is what I hear the adults say, and I'm going to say it here." And it's so much funnier when a child says it because they have no idea what they're in for. Yeah. And then my man Uramichi, he said, I wish I could stitch myself in a bag and wait for death. I was like, damn.
My man also
That was,
said. My man also said, when we reach the end of our road, we're alone. I was like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah. And then we find Iketeru can't cut paper. And then he was like, talk about a little bit about responsibility. And it was like, someone was like, don't lie for someone else's sake. Um, or something. I think that woman said it. Utani said something, or she because they were talking about her boyfriend, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it's this or this," and like, "Don't lie for someone else's sake." I was like, "Oh dang,"
But
I forget why
they had a wholesome moment at the end of that episode.
they do.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's dick joke guy's name?
Iketeru.
Ikitaro had a what he thought was a fight with his sister, and like it was like messing him up all day.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a fight. Well, it was a fight, but she forgot. She's like, "What were you fighting about?"
We were fighting when?
Yeah, and so also I got about the apologies, like just an easy way to smooth things over with people, and if you do it early enough, it could just save time. And then so the director also needed episodes for dreams or whatever, or no, he needed stuff because he's run out of ideas. So he asked about dreams, and then Iramichi dreamed in a world without spices, and that's when they came up with the goddess Shizo. And then so they gave crazy little outfits and stuff, and they couldn't look at Uramichi because he just looked so ridiculous, and they bust out laughing. It was crazy. Kids, man, I love the kids.
Fucking kids. How many?
Yeah,
How many episodes are there to fucking? How many seasons are there to this shit?
just the one.
Just the one, right? How far are we? I'm gonna check right now.
Probably have um 5 more episodes.
I don't want to click on it and start an episode. I might have to search it instead.
It's 13 episodes,
It's 13. You already okay? Never mind.
so it's about six, and then that's it. I don't know. I don't know if they gonna decide to make another season. I'd be down
I
for
don't.
more life lessons.
I don't think it's one of those shows to get another season.
I need some more life lessons.
I don't think you need those kind of life lessons, Harry.
I do. I need them all. Need to better my life.
I need some more fucking ReZero in my life, bro. But I guess let's talk about children a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about some Chojin.
Um,
Innocent World.
right off the bat, Tokyo talking to pigeons kind of threw me off.
Yeah. I mean, he's a bird.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
so it's feasible. But yeah, Tokyo, he's kind of going through like self reflection, and he's like he doesn't want to be a follower anymore and kind of wants to think for himself.
And isn't surprised that Azuma is, I think his name is,
Yeah,
Azuma is tired of helping him, which I don't think he really was. I think Azuma was just like freaking out because he didn't know what was gonna happen with him, and like he just flipped and had a lot of misdirected aggression towards Tokyo.
I kind of still wonder what is the thing that he desires most to be, you know, because
Well,
for
I think
Tokyo,
okay, this might be looking way too into this, but like Tokyo was is a vulture children because that's what he desired to be when he was a kid or some shit like that, right?
yeah, because that was Azuma's um analyzation, like his self worth, I guess, for Tokyo.
I think Azuma desires to be perfect.
Yeah, something, or
Yeah.
maybe he just wants to be normal, and he just lost the ability to do all the stuff he did before. I don't know. We have yet
Yeah.
to see. There's like eight
That would
more
be
chapters
such a
after this.
fucking big fuck you
Yeah,
if you gained abilities that negated your previous gifted talents.
yeah. I feel like that's why he was like, he kind of was like, just go on yourself. He's like, no, I can carry myself here because he might have had to prove to himself that he still had the strength to do it, but like,
You
it's the
activated my trap card. Normal life.
yeah. So
Oh,
I don't know, but
that'd be great.
I could see it.
Oh my god. I didn't
Maybe
even
just
think
wanted to
about
be
that,
like
but then
everyone
you brought it
else.
to my attention. I'm like, I kind of want to read. I can't wait the next week to find out what if we even see his ability.
Yeah. So uh so we also find out that Tokyo always used to talk to the pigeons. It's just now he can understand him.
Mm-hmm.
And the bird's like, what would you do if you were this Azuma? And he's like, learn
Well,
about myself, hone my power, learn from others and practice, and better himself and help people.
here was the thing. Okay, because like, here was the thing with that. The birds were out here saying like trying to cheer on. I was like, hey, but you made a decision to feed us, and you made a decision to do this. You can do things without Azuma. But if you want to
Yeah.
know what to do next, what would you do if you were Azuma? I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
It makes sense a little bit, but not a whole lot.
I was like, Nick, what? I thought
I
we were
guess
trying
it's
to get him
kind of
away
like
from that.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's like his mind frame like
And
he's
then he was like, Tokyo was like, I must be independent from Azuma. Must be independent. So I shouldn't rely on the birds. But let's just start being independent from Azuma. So let's go rely on birds.
yeah, it's one of those stepping stone ones where you have to crawl a little bit before you can walk. So that's what he's doing because of it. He's not relying on Azuma, but he's going to rely on the birds for the time being, and eventually he'll learn to just rely on himself. So
Do
that's what the
you
hope is, anyway.
do you think so? Like, do you think he was just stuck in like half beastification form,
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
Cause like, all right, so just to recap, a little bit, the next couple like panels and like I think the whole next chapter was just him trying to transform into a human again.
Yeah,
He would go out and just scream, release, 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 release.
yeah. So he was, classic try to know yourself montage or whatever. And then so he he goes to the zoo and there's some random girl. He finds out the zoo's closed. The zoo is closed because he wants to go see the vulture because the vulture should have be able to tell him so he can talk to vultures. And some random girl tells him how to sneak into the zoo after it's closed. And they sneak in and walk around. And then the girl found out the girl could talk to snakes. I was like, oh, this isn't a good sign.
Man, it wasn't a good sign from the beginning.
I mean,
I didn't trust that girl at all.
you gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. But I was like,
Hell no,
okay,
bro.
yeah. But apparently, she talked to snakes, and she asked the snakes where the vulture was. I was like, dude, you don't think that's weird? She just asked a snake where the vulture was, and snakes eat birds sometimes.
It's like if you can talk to birds and she just talked to a snake and you're a Trojan,
Like you put none of it all together,
AX plus
and
B equals Y, my good sir.
you said AX.
AX plus B. I don't think that's the actual equation,
It
but
it's Y equals MX plus B.
MX plus B.
Yeah,
MX plus B. I mean, you can substitute M for A. It's a,
you could,
yeah, it
but
was just a matter of.
no one would know what you're talking about.
I know. I'm glad you did.
A little bit,
It's been a while since I've been in math class.
yeah. So yeah, and then she turns to a snake and like eats his face.
Yeah. Ew, it was the ugliest fucking transformation that came out of nowhere. Like, ew, she's just a big ass snake head on a small body. That's fucking gross. That looks
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
It almost looks as bad as fucking shriveled up beak face when he was taking a shower.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, and she was employed to catch him by the guy that was creating Trojans. And apparently, you get a neck tingle when Trojans use their powers because it releases a signal or something.
Mm-hmm.
So she found him, and she released a power, so he felt it.
But like, his powers have always been released since he transformed. So like, if you get a signal when someone releases their powers, like, what was giving off the signal? Him just screaming?
No, she released a signal.
Yeah, she
That's
released a signal, but how did? Oh, she didn't find him. She wanted him to find her,
yeah,
but he didn't. He was just trying to go to the zoo.
yeah. So I think she released it at the zoo, and then he that's when he got the idea that the vulture or something. He's like, I should go ask the vulture because he thought he was doing something, like he was getting close. Like, oh, I'm close to getting it. Maybe if I'd ask for help or something. So
Yo, so Tomato Girl doesn't seem to have full control of her abilities as well,
no,
but
but yeah,
she comes in and tries to save him.
yeah, but a little bit. Snake Lady gives him a test, and
Okay.
yeah, she has to race and catch him, and he flashes to a middle school race, and uh, with my man Azumo's fast, and then he screams out for help, and she calls him ordinary, and then Ellie or Eli or Eel falls out there and tries to save him because she felt his signal for him trying to go beast mode. But continue.
Well, there
They
wasn't much to
they
it. I mean, like, as much as she was trying, she was no match for Snake Lady. Snake Lady transformed completely, and it was just no use. And I was enjoying what I was reading. Like, it was getting interesting, but like,
yeah.
it makes me have way too many questions about the plot. And it was just like, what about seeing the bird made him understand how to transform? I don't understand.
I don't know, but
He just saw flying. I'm assuming it was a vulture he saw flying. That's my assumption. I don't know if it's
hmm
true. A funny thing to take note of is when they were playing tag, the birds were placing bets on food. They were betting food on like who would win.
yeah,
It was just like, I wonder if this is what animals actually do when they're watching people.
it could be.
It's like I bet you he'll feed me. But he looks at Bird and it's just like, oh, I get it, and then fully transforms. And I was just like, what?
I don't think he fully transformed.
Well, he said full beastification. I don't know if he actually did it, but
That
those were his
man don't
intentions.
know. He don't know nothing about transforming
He
yet.
don't. He don't because fucking secret organization guy was like, it must have been your first transformation. You couldn't control your input and output energy or some shit like that, and that's the cause of your arm being broken. And I was just like,
Yeah,
what?
you're skipping ahead a little bit there.
I know,
What
but that was
about the
just
whole
me
fact?
justifying what you just said.
Yeah, he yeah, he. I don't think he knows anything. I think he does because he doesn't even have wings when he does his full beastification. You can't be
Right.
a vulture if you don't have your wings.
But you know what the problem I'm having with Children X right now is?
What?
This is Children X is created from the person who made Tokyo Ghoul. And I actually really do like Tokyo Ghoul. But comparing Tokyo Ghoul to Children X seems to have a little too much predictability.
Mm, could be, or it could not be. That is the question.
Like, come on, like tell me right now that you don't know for a fact that he's gonna train with that organization.
He could train, or he could not train.
Herb, tell me right now, what do you think he's gonna do over the next couple chapters that we read?
More than likely, he will probably train with them.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just like, he somehow survives the attack. Blah blah blah. He gains power up. Somehow understands his power and trains to use it better. Okay, all right, cool. You
Yeah,
had my
so
attention up until that point. Now I'm just like, all right, now I need something to like reel me back in because you kind of lost me a little.
yeah. So talk about the fight a little bit. He went and punched the snake lady, but
Broke his arm.
in her yeah her full beastification scales were too tough, so he hurt his arm. And then they run for a little bit, and then they decide to make a stand. And this is when they come up with a plan to broil her from the inside because that's probably her weak point. And
Him breaking
then
his arm was so funny though. It was just like, oh, I transformed. I'm the shit. I feel light. I'm about to take this bitch out. Oh, nope, didn't work. Gotta go.
yeah, so so then he opens her mouth, and then all his powers just go away. And then they both lose their powers, like their abilities. I'm like, dang. And then the sword man comes in and stabs the snake lady through the mouth and just lights up with a bunch more swords. His guy, his name is Otsuta.
It might
So
have
he,
been them. I'm bad with names.
yeah,
But she
and
didn't die,
so
amazingly.
yeah, Nori didn't die, and so they Tokyo passes out at Yamato Mori. Uh, is there, and they it's a place of nature Chojin, and so Hoshi Sunduk is the buff guy that says, yeah, your arm's busted up because you didn't get your output right. So, so
And
there's that.
and I'm just like, what?
Yeah. So there we go. There's a few episodes. It's not bad so far.
But
I
here's the
think it might be
question
better
now.
than Tokyo Ghoul.
I don't even think you've seen Tokyo Ghoul.
I, I seen enough
Enough of what?
Tokyo Ghoul
What have you seen?
clips.
Listen, I'm just
That's all
saying.
you need.
So if he has an output he needs to control, does that mean there's a time limit to how long he can be in Chojin form?
Probably until you master it. That's why his whole appearance shattered when he tried to open up that mouth of the snake lady.
Mm. Mm. Because he was in like half form for days.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So I have a couple things to look forward to. Next reading sesh.
I'm not even sure I would call it half because he only had the beak. Like just quarter, nothing else, just the
I don't
beak.
even know if it's even a quarter. It's like
15%,
I'm
like
okay with
Geico.
15%.
on
I
your
would
car
have.
insurance.
Oh my god. All right, Tower God. Can we hear a little about Tower God before we go on to what else do we have?
Maybe I wanted to talk about ReZero, about one episode I saw.
Um. Okay, so
Nah, I do Tower God because I know how you feel about stuff.
no, we can do
So
ReZero.
Yuriha has to defeat the ancient observer to find out about Bam. The fight starts and she finds out that the observer is strong because during the war, scouts they didn't have protection, so they had to be strong by themselves. And the observer has poison on her finger on his second right hand, and she figures this out because it doesn't attack, but the the fug engineer was like, "Oh, she doesn't know that this finger has poison, so when it attacks her, they'll get her." And she's like, "No, I figured it out." So she's a fighting genius, way better than Luffy's fighting genius. But hey, so then she uses the Ha family
They could
Senshu
all just put that
Hadouken.
in there as what?
So I'm telling this story.
Fuck your
so
story.
so
Oh,
yeah. So she uses a Sensui Hadouken, red velvet sword, and Fug gets hit with it. And then she hits him with a nuclear punch in the fight, pretty much knocks him out. And then the engineer tells Yuriha that the game is programmed for the boiling acid to reach the core. It's an inescapable trap. Bam's supposed to lose anyway. And the flashes to the white clone, and they ask, uh, does Bam want to be a hero? Or does he not want to lose his humanity? She's just kind of like a thought she had. And the engineer wants to resurrect White and have Bam's death. White tells Bam that only the strong survive.
do you have the chapter number you're on?
Yeah, 192.
192. Okay, because I've decided I want to pretty much just refresh while you're talking and see if I have anything to point out. So
Yeah.
carry on.
So, yeah. Then so this time, Bam and White both go down the tube. He attacks Bam, and they talk. And Bam says, "I just want to save the person in front of me." And then Bam unleashes an attack, and he says Akaraptor. White says Bam is impressive and may reach the top of the tower without sacrifices of blood, unlike him. Akaraptor's kind of mad because he didn't want to be saved because he wanted Mean Sing to be saved instead of him because Bam's going to run out of points. And then flashback to White, and he says he's going to deny Bam. He's a mutant anomaly, and he wants to kill him. And he uses an attack, but the White clone blocks it and tells him that he's evil and he can't change his nature. And the clone is actually the billions of victims of White. And then she decides to share her power with Bam.
Mm-hmm. Thus, making Bam even more OP than he already was.
Yeah, that man's like Ichigo.
You know what? That is a fair comparison.
Yeah, because he just getting stuff and adding stuff, and just I'm like, what can he do? The man got a thorn out of nowhere. The man got some of White's power out of nowhere. He got um, training from that man and the melting pot thing. So he just getting some of everything. So the engineer says everyone will die, but White and Yuriha would use the transportation technique to save him. And Yuriha says, "No way, Bam will die." Uh, the clone was made up of the souls of the ones that Hogan killed. Bam says, with his power, he could save everyone. Flashback to 600 years ago. White White's body is given out, so he splits himself into 5 parts using a sigil. And we find out if another spirit mingles with the sigil, they will be sealed on the train forever. Hoquin and whoever mingles with the sigil. And then they trick people into killing each other. That was Hoquin's plan because he forced Rowan to kill someone, and then he kind of made the train mutiny by killing other people, thinking there was a murderer on there. And then we flash back to Rowan's crew, and they didn't want Rowan to sacrifice herself, but deep down, they did. They were cowards, and they thought if anyone should sacrifice himself, it should have been Rowan. except for Daniel. He didn't feel this way. And then Daniel hated them for not letting him die with Rowan. So Mensing is up next. Flash forward, and White goes to fight Bam. Then Bam creates a sword with his Senshu, and he knocks Hoquin out, and Bam wins. So then we find out that Rowan likes Daniel and tells him that she loves him, and that's because he accepted her at her worst, and so she's so in love that she doesn't fear death. So that's why she's willing to sacrifice herself. The power that defeated White is now disappearing. Rat calls someone floating turtle, and then that was the clone. And then we find out that there's no actual way to bring Rowan back, and tells her to tell Rowan's spirit that he loves her too. And then we find out about the Arya Hun, the leader of the Arya clan, and the Ha and Kun families are comparable to the great Arya sword. And we find out Arya members are sacrificed to make a sword. And Hoquin's father tells him to leave and come back as a demon if he really wants to beat him. The liquid core plan comes to commence. Rachel tells Kun she's going to stay on the train and head where the floor administrator died, where Anryu killed the tower administrator. The engineer tells Yeaaaah where to find Bam, and it's going to take 4 hours to get there. But Evan finds a route, but he says it's dangerous. So Yeaaaah agrees to take the risk to save the people. The Sweet Fist helps Kun out, and then Bam shows up to save him. And Kun notices that Horion is looking where the boiling liquid is coming from. So he hatches a plan, and they go near where the boiling liquid was. And Yeaaaah shows up, and she takes them all up in a sensory bubble, and then she hugs Bam once it was safe. So Vrak has a name for Yeaaaah, and it's Violent Turtle, is which is hilarious. So Rat goes to mouthing off to Yuri, and Kun punches him, and they start talking, and Yurik comes up, and Yuri asks why Bam entered Fug, and he tells her he was dead so that Fug could take him away. And then we also find that the classification between silver dwarfs and red witches are the names of the guides. So, and then Evans talked to Horion a while ago. Well, he had seen Horion, and he mentioned it when they were talking, and she kind of was Bam's navigator from the start, but not really. She tells him Bam is walking a completely new path, and then tells him that the path for the princess is of destruction and revenge against Fug. And then Rachel's crew that hopped in Uraha's bag is released. And then Rachel asks Hoquin to be her subordinate and tells him that she will help find his clones. And they tells him to go to the floor of death and find a thorn that Rachel can use. Yuri decides to go to the floor of the test and to make uh, Hang Sugya pay, the guy that was associated with Fug. Vam doesn't want her to go because he says it will cause more problems because she's jihad. It doesn't want to be an eye for eye. And the floor of death is on the 43rd floor. And Yuri tells them not to go, but she will accompany them and allow Bam to enter if she feels he is capable of challenging uh, what challenging? Yeah, challenging something or up to the challenge, I guess. So Horian comes across Wang Nan in despair, reminding him that there'll be more chances, and then she reminds him that one of his teammates is guaranteed to die as long as he's on near them or on the train or something. The 38th floor test point is a gray guardian that kind of looks like Rack, and Kun says he wants to punch him in the face. And we find that Candy Lady possesses an ignition weapon, which was unique, I guess. And there's someone on the next floor that can test Bam's abilities. And it's a dangerous station. And Team Ran is on the 39th floor. So they have to progress, and we find out that they have to hunt the Kaiser, and there's a Lord Hess that wants to hunt the Kun family because he hates the family, and he calls the turtles ruthless. A rat calls the turtles ruthless because they knocked someone out that looked just like him. And Yuri Haas test is to steal the name of the Kaiser at the strongest D rank regular, 1,000 years ruling. Yeah, and find out that the regular battles people and steals their name if he wins. And this is the only floor where you can do it. And then Bam goes back to the rice pot. And then Rand faces off with the name stealer. And that's it.
Hey, so how are you enjoying? How did you enjoy your last 8 chapters?
Yeah, it was great. Got some substance in there.
Hey,
Yeah. I think I enjoyed it a little better than
One Piece. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would say a little better than Weak Hero, but hey,
I think there. I don't think there's anything you would enjoy less than Weak Hero.
except for One Piece.
No, doubt it.
Yeah, One Piece is okay if you can get past the initial 1,000 episodes. But yeah, that's it. It's
I want
great.
to just remind everyone that he has gone on record say One Piece is better than Weak Hero.
Yeah, it is. Weak Hero was
Weak Hero is a
not
great webtoon, by the way, guys. You should check it out.
if you like bullies.
If you like anything that's violent in your anime, then you should check out Weak Hero.
Yeah, I ain't about the violence.
Almost like Tokyo Revengers, but like little less of little less a little lacking on the story part compared to Tokyo Revengers.
I feel like Tokyo Revengers has more morals. They only fight people that fight them. So
I mean, it's the same with the guys in Yujang and the main
mm,
characters in Weak Hero. They're
mm,
not looking for fights; they just
mm,
defending
mm.
themselves.
Well, I'm talking about the kids just be beating up random kids for no reason because they wear glasses.
Yeah, that's not one of
It's
the main
messed up.
characters.
Still, you don't see that.
That happens.
That
That's a
nah.
life.
Mm.
That's something in life. That's realistic.
You try to say that's the life lessons.
No, I'm trying to say that's realistic.
Mm. It's terrible.
Out here in the streets, people get jumped for no reason, dog.
If you're in the wrong streets,
It be like that.
not in my streets. But all right, continue.
Re Zero. Okay, so in Re Zero, the white whale screaming, looking all mad, and Rem is out here attacking the whale, and they decide the only way, or Rem decides the only way they can escape the whale's grasp is if she uses herself as bait. So she knocks out Subaru, and she goes and she becomes bait. Well, after he comes to, like the guy's driving, and
Had some
he's
of that
like,
for Vegeta. What?
he's like, Subaru's like, we gotta go back for Rem. He's like, are you crazy? We didn't even make it out alive. And like, here's where I lost a little respect for Subaru. Like the traveler merchant guy overpowered him and made his ass sit down. I was like, really, Subaru? You getting overpowered by guys like him? I know you're not exactly strong, but like, come on, dude.
Probably because of the motion of the carriage.
And dudes, what's that? Adrenaline was probably kicking. He was like, go back
Yeah,
the fuck out of here, you crazy.
yeah.
But
it's hard enough to. It's like I guess kind of. You ever been on like a Rocky Greyhound bus?
yeah,
Yeah, so you just be like, oh, he might have come at that opportune time.
and then
So
like Homeboy called himself weak and then called Subaru weak too. And Subaru said Rem isn't way stronger than him. I'm like, what? Are we
yeah,
talking about the same Rem? Because, she's a lot more capable than you are.
yeah,
But then Cart Dude's like, who the fuck is Rem? I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
yeah. I think the white whale erases memories sometimes because I think they alluded to that before. Like
But the
people get
white,
caught in it, don't even remember.
but the white whale didn't make it to the mansion. You know
No,
what I
I'm
mean?
like, it's the fact like whoever got touched with the white whale gets erased from existence. It's kind of like that doll from One Piece that later makes people into toys. That's kind of the same principle.
I see what you mean. But why do you think Subaru remembered her because of the witch's presence in him?
I that has to be because if it wasn't
It's the only like logical explanation.
yeah because the other guy was basically the same place as Subaru, but he's like who's Rem, but only Subaru knew. So I think that that presence. I think the White Witch created the the white whale, so it's like a resonance thing probably
Maybe,
because she
yeah.
created Subaru.
Okay. So, yeah, Homeboy is just like, I don't know who the fuck Rem is, and Subaru was going crazy, but then Subaru realizes the whale was probably tracking him. The cart guy seemed like such a cool dude in last week's episode, but he was just like, "Oh, he's after you. You said it yourself. Haha. So just die for me, Subaru."
And he pushes him
It
out
just pushes him out. It was just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
like a little sucker.
I was like, this dude's personality just completely fucking changed.
Yeah,
Um, so Subaru being uber prophetic is like just he's like, I just want to survive. I just want to survive. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I was like, but if you die, you can reverse what happened.
yeah.
Like you had so much resolve when it came to dying when Rem killed you, and seemed like you accepted the ability you had, like earnestly, and like you would, if you had to fix anything, you would just willingly die. But no, this man is still like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And I'm just like, your character growth is both positive sometimes, and then it just shoots down negatively.
Yeah.
So, he survives the whale attack, and then the dragon thingy, a creature that was pulling the guy, I guess the witch coat killed him, and he made it to the village, and the kid saw him, and he passed out. He woke up in the castle next to Rom. Um, he mentioned that Rem died, and she didn't remember him, and he forced his way to Amelia's room, and he was trying to talk to her, and then he mentioned Rem again, and Amelia didn't remember him, and he's like, "This is all a joke. But if you're not gonna believe me anyway, I'm gonna tell you." And then at this point, I'm thinking that the curse of the witch of revealing the secret got so tired of him like playing with it. It was like, all right, instead of killing you, I'm just gonna kill the person next to you.
Well, I also he still was trying to like change her mind, just being bossy, and like wouldn't willing to give her no details.
Yeah, it was just like
So
he hasn't fully grasped on like how to interact with people.
yeah.
He keeps going about things the wrong way, and like I said, I guess the witch got tired of him trying to tell the secret, so he was like, all right, I'm just gonna kill who you're trying to tell instead.
Yeah.
But now, and like this is something I thought the first couple episodes. I really do feel like Betty knows about the curse.
Yeah.
Cause like I don't know, man. Like she gives off some vibes. It's like she gives off this I don't care vibe, but then like you clearly tell that she does care, and she was like she doesn't want to see him die, so she just sent him elsewhere. And I'm just like, but like why would she do that if she didn't know about it anyway?
Yeah. I mean, it also could be that she was like, I don't want to kill you, but I don't want to see you kill yourself. So here, go away.
I strongly feel like she knows about him.
She
Like
probably does.
yeah,
She's a librarian spellkeeper, so she probably knows certain spells and stuff. Like she probably could put that spell on someone if she wanted to.
oof. And then Portugoose fucking shows up again, and he called Subaru a believer in love. I was just like, is that just because he's holding Amelia, or they just call him something different? Because he called him Pride Sin last week,
Yeah.
and then Portugoose tried to kill Amelia or just take her because I think she was pretty much dead already,
Yeah.
and Subaru dodged the shadow hands and he called it the unseen hand, and then he was biting his fingers. I think he was breaking them. And then fucking Puck shows up and confirmed that he was the giant creature we saw. Amelia is his daughter, and still left me in fucking awe.
Yeah.
And then proceeded in the next episode to say,
Oh, we got
because
stuck and I didn't watch this episode.
oh right, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I'm
so
kidding. Go ahead.
I was just gonna throw a whole bunch of theories out there. Um, and then he proceeded to say, because Portugoose tried to take him on, and he was like, to kill him, you need half of Satella's power. And I was like, what? I find myself asking a lot of times what the fuck is going on, and this was one of the times like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he told him he needed 1,000 shadow hands because she can make 2,000 herself.
And yeah, it needs at least half of her power to be able to kill him or hurt him.
Yeah, I guess to fight him.
Yeah.
I'll just say to fight him.
And then after he does away with everyone, he turns his attention to Subaru and he's like, "All right, Subaru, let's talk. Let's talk about the 3 sins you've committed. First, you broke your promise to Leah. Second, you ignored her wishes and returned. Third, you let her die." And then like he mentioned that the white whale is the gluttony sin. And
Yeah.
this part was kind of weird because like the sloth sin called Subaru the pride sin. We've now confirmed that the white whale is the gluttony sin, and Puck called Subaru slothful and then killed him. Because to
Yeah.
Puck, a world without Leah isn't a world worth having at all. So in his
He also said it
contract,
was in his Yeah, I would say yeah. It also said it's in his contract.
if Amelia dies, the world will also die.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Puck, that's a that is a doting, overprotective father if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
But fuck it, right? Good story so far. All right, so Subaru dies, and I didn't like this. I didn't like this next scene with Rem.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was bad. It's just more flaws out of Subaru's character. But we did learn a little something about Rem. She likes an aggressive person.
Yeah. She yeah, this is one where they snap back to reality and Subaru grabs Rim and runs, and then he explains that he wants to run away.
Yeah, he wants to run away with her, and then Rem, oh my god, poor Rem, has
Yeah,
thought about this before and laid out her entire plan. Like, we would run away. Um, I have knowledge, so I'd be able to get a job, and then you'd probably be able to get a job, or if not, you'd be able to work as my assistant. And while we're doing that, we'd probably save up enough money to buy a house, and then you'd come up with a crazy idea that I would back up because it's you, and you'd give us enough money to start a family. We'd have um, two, three, maybe even four kids, maybe two girls and two boys, or maybe two girls, blah blah blah, depending on blah 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 what's you, and then I would be truly happy. But I can't do that with you. And Subaru was like, why? It's like, because you weren't smiling when you said that. And Rem knows. Rem knows that, like,
Subaru not into her like that.
yeah, yeah, and it's so fucked up because he's going over all the things that's wrong with him, which he's right. And she's going over all the things she loves about him, which, love is blind, and she only sees the positives in Subaru. But it helps wake him up from his shit. So once she wakes him up and convinces him that he's not, he should be trying to be the person she sees in him, he flat out tells her, I'm in love with Amelia. And she's like, I
Yeah,
know. I was like, I know we all knew this, but what the fuck, Subaru?
yeah,
What, she just confessed her undying love for you. And then, like, you go ahead after you told Axter to run away with you and, like, probably gave her, even though she resisted, some hope that you two can be together. And then you tell her you're in love with Amelia, and then ask her to help you fix your shit whenever you fuck up. And then she goes and says, you are truly cruel. But then his response is, you shot down my once in a lifetime opportunity. Let's call it even. And they start laughing. And I'm like, no, that's not fucking even. That's not the same. She genuinely fucking is in love with you, and you wanted to run away with her because you didn't know what else to do.
yeah. I also feel like
I
this
am
this is
so. Go ahead.
I would say I feel like she called him her hero, and she said he melted her heart. So I feel like it's one of those ones where it's not meant to be, but like it opens her up to the possibility of someone coming in to actually love her the way she needs to be loved. You know?
No, yeah, 100%. I feel like that, like we all know she knew that he was in love with Amelia. I don't think she actually, like, even though she would love a future with him, I don't think she's actually opposed to being with someone else. It's just that he got her to stop thinking of the past, and that's why she's so drawn to him. But my thing is, like, how can you be so shit sometimes? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Subaru? Like, I don't understand. And then he makes these really ugly faces when he's being a shitty person. And it was just, this show does a lot of me liking Subaru and me disliking Subaru a lot. There's no in between. I either like him or I don't like him, depending on what episode it is.
Yeah.
But you know, um, Rem Rem helps him get over his shit, and they decide, hey, we need help. This is gonna happen. Let's do this. And I wrote a little note before this episode, and I was like, it's time for the next episode. Let's see if Subaru learned anything.
Maybe.
So it looks like he did finally, like, put his previous lives into converted it into experience and, like, made it work to his favor. He set up this negotiation with Crochet, purple hair lady name is,
Yes.
and he already had the backing of the merchant and the pink hair little girl candidate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And basically, he convinces everyone, like, hey, this whale is going to be here. The white whale is going to be at this destination. I'm proposing an alliance. Let's all take this out. Here is my question, Irby. I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I want to know if you have an answer. And if you don't, maybe you can think about it. I've seen his phone almost dying in one of these episodes. But in this last episode, his phone was fully charged and ready to fucking go. How is he charging his phone? I want to know.
I was thinking the same thing, cause I was like, that thing should be dead by now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's like, this motherfucker's got a full fucking battery. How the
Unless,
fuck's he
unless
got a
it's
full battery?
if it's a Nokia phone, then that thing might last forever. But I don't know. 'Cause I was thinking, how does he charge it? Like I don't know. Maybe he has
This
like
shit
one of
was
those.
fucking with me, dog. I was just like, that. I had to rewatch the scene because I'm like, I spent like 5 minutes in my head just trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with his phone's battery.
Yeah, maybe something that's pertinent to the storyline. Like it recharges because it's like the witch's curse or something. Or he has a solar powered battery
I was like, even
pack
so,
somewhere.
I was about to say he spent months in that world already. I think
Yeah.
so. Like, I don't listen. My phone needs to be charged by the end of the day. Granted, he doesn't have much use for his phone, but it was dying on the previous episode, which means it needed to be charged to get full battery. Where the fuck did he charge it?
Was it dying now? I can't remember.
I remember seeing it die because I like every time you brought up the phone, like, how long is he gonna make use of this thing? Because he can't exactly charge it once it's dead. But
Yeah.
there I stand corrected. Subaru with a full fucking battery on his phone.
Yeah.
And Felix throws me off because Felix is a guy but dresses like a girl.
Yeah.
And I always forget Felix is a guy because he's dressing like a girl. I was like, yo, I need to constantly remind myself that Felix is a guy. But I was also amazed at Subaru. Remember what purple hot guy traveler merchant dude told Subaru before he threw him off the cart that the strongest sword hero or whatever died to the white whale?
Yeah.
And then like Subaru had like realization like the sword hero did?
Yeah, because I was like, cause I was saying, because the first thought was, I was like, oh, that man, the
Yeah,
swordsman, and
the
then
man.
I was like, so is he a ghost? Then it came out said it was his wife.
I thought so too. But I knew that guy was connected somehow. But Subaru seemed like he knew something and then like was completely surprised when it was this guy. I was like, "What?" but so we're about to like we're preparing for the attack on the white whale and Ricardo shows up and he is an interesting fucking character.
Yeah,
And he kind of behaves just like a dog. Oh, I'm reading my notes and this is where I started complaining about the phone.
yeah,
Oh man, and they're just talking and they're setting up, and everyone's really thankful to Subaru for like giving them the opportunity to take on the white whale and rid the world of its nuisance. And I forgot what scene made me think this, but I made a note that Rem would really make a great wife for someone that hopefully
she
isn't
would.
Subaru.
Yeah,
And and then I noticed before the ending scene while he was talking to the sword hero's husband that my man was carrying six fucking swords.
yeah,
I was like, all right, dude. Either you're planning on breaking a lot of swords or you're more talented than I thought. Six swords? Okay, let's see. And the white whale shows up. I thought everyone was gonna start questioning Subaru when it didn't show up immediately. I was actually thinking
Yeah.
the white whale wasn't going to show up at all, but it showed up, and immediately Rem and Subaru go off into attacking it, and then Cruchet's like, "Follow those two fools into battle!"
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. I also had a note that when they were at that tree, Rem's like, I always know you're lying, and when you can't always tell me the truth. And so he's
So
he's kind of easy to figure out, I suppose.
Amelia and Rem's understanding and belief in Subaru are completely opposite. It's more like Amelia can't act and doesn't understand. Rem understands why she doesn't understand and just acts anyway. So like Rem is a toxic person. Rem's not a toxic person, but she brings out Subaru's toxicness in where Rem pretty much lets Subaru get away with everything and like encourages his stupidity.
You just said Rem twice. Like you didn't did you meet Amelia for the first one
No, no, not at all.
or Amelia the second one? Because
No,
you
not neither.
okay? Because you it sounded to me like you were talking about like two separate entities and called them both Rem.
No, no, no. She's like she supports his shenanigans and like encourages his stupidity. Yeah, I just ended up saying her name twice for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But like
It just
Amelia, she doesn't like she likes Subaru. You can tell she likes Subaru, but like he has so many bad traits that she's picked up on, and it's hard to like trust him. And that's understandable. Whereas Rem has this blind faith that this is the greatest man she's ever known, and no matter what he does, it's okay because it's him and things work out. No, Rem, no. This man has bad qualities. He's aware of them. Don't smash them away. Help him fix them.
hmm.
But I'm really into ReZero. ReZero is climbing up my favorite anime list.
Bird.
Yeah, it's not gonna pass One Piece like ever, but it's really
I
good.
don't think anything would ever pass One Piece for you.
Hey, listen, strong fan base.
Mm. Yeah. Mm-mm.
But anything you want to go out on, Herbie?
I want to go out on a limb.
Okay, and say what?
Nothing.
Okay, guys, that was this week's episode of Herbal Synergy. I hope you enjoyed, and catch us next week. Peace.
Peace.